Okay, wait.
An ordinance of the Village of Indiantown, Florida, amending the Village of Indiantown personnel regulations, providing for findings, severability, conflicts, non-codification, and an effective date. And it's before you tonight for second reading and adoption. And I can actually go ahead and handle this. Yeah. Mayor, council members, if you recall, you considered this on first reading. The primary amendment that was before you addressed language that was added in the administration section relating to the village manager's authorization to provide additional benefits when he deemed it necessary for hiring or retaining an employee with mission-critical experience. When you all discussed it, you decided some additional language might be appropriate to have in there so that there'd be some public accountability with regard to that and have it be reported back. And so the following language was added in the version that's before you tonight. If this authority is exercised, the village manager shall so notify the village council members in writing within 7 days thereafter.
Good enough for me. Can I get a motion with
So
that
moved.
amendment?
Second.
Any discussion by the council?
Yeah.
Councilwoman Susan Gibbs Thomas?
Yeah, I had the opportunity this week, I was scrolling through the village website, looked at the transparency page, and was looking at some different things. And I saw something that I had actually forgotten about. And it has to pertain to this. The village charter gave the village council the responsibility and duty to make policy for this municipality. For the last couple of years, it's been recommended to council to vacate that responsibility to the manager. This exact question was put on to the village voters on March the 17th, 2020, to change the charter. The question on that was put to the voters, and I quote, "Shall the Indiantown Village Charter be amended to provide that the village manager, rather than the village council, shall establish and maintain a system of personnel policies for the administration of the village employees?" End quote. The voters said no. 57.4% said no to 42.6%. We keep getting back to us recommendations to seek the authority that was granted to the council by charter and reaffirmed by the choice of Indiantown residents. By approving this, we are directly going against the express choice of Indiantown residents and our charter. We will be allowing the benefits to not be consistent with approved policy. We will give away our responsibility and duty that we swore to do. We are giving away our ability to approve or disapprove of actions that we are responsible for. The public needs to pay attention and be aware of this council's decision to disregard their mandate to us on this issue. Also, staff needs to correct the charter page of our website to reflect that I believe it's the Charter Amendment number 3 that deals with that vote. It has on there that the charter shall be amended, and it deals with the election question, but then it also has this on there that the village charter amendment it says that concerning the village personnel policies. It has it on there as that our charter has changed to that, and it has not. That question was voted down. So I think we need to kind of change that page. And that's my comments.
Councilwoman Hernandez? Vice Mayor Tyler?
So, where do I begin? With this ordinance, we decided that we were going to give him this authority so that he can basically help attract folks to the village of Indiantown. But from the beginning, because I was involved from the beginning, this ordinance or the whole ideal of personnel policies is unorthodox. And we've already established that this power should be given to the city manager And we find ourselves, when we have these conversations, we got 5 different people with their 5 different experiences, especially the ones who have a 9 to 5 with their personnel policies. That's not what we were designed to do. Now, yes, I understand that it is in the charter, but that is it is unorthodox. And if we had if the attorney could answer this question for me, how many councils do you know take care, just in your the cities that you work with, that has a personnel policy where the council is making that personnel policy?
You're not going to necessarily like my answer because it's all
That's
over,
okay.
it's all over the place. Genuinely all over the place. So just in my experience, unorthodox might be a bit strong. I would say it leans more towards the manager doing it. Okay, that the manager would have more authority over setting personnel policies than your charter currently has. Okay, so I would just use a different word. I would say across the municipalities similarly sized that I have experience with, I would say it leans more towards the manager having more authority over personnel regulations. However, you see it in both directions.
Yeah.
So it's
And that's where I want to get at, and maybe, we can come up with another word instead of being unorthodox, but we're going to continue to find ourselves dealing with the same issue because we have 5 different perspectives on the personnel policy, even with giving time and time off and that kind of stuff. So I just hope that we take that into consideration as we're moving forward. I would love, and I said this last meeting, to see that charter amendment back on the ballot, because as y'all know, we were getting attacked and the information was not clear. And so I would love to see that back on the ballot with some explanation, because I think we're going to continue to find ourselves in this predicament when it comes to personnel issues. So that's my thought. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Hernandez?
And where do I start?
Speed up.
Micromanaging. We're not here to micromanage. We set policies, and one of the things is for something to get onto the agenda, people don't understand that it has to take a few weeks probably to get it on the agenda. So it can be a few weeks, it could be a month for it to get to the agenda. By the time that person or whoever the village manager is trying to retain as an employee, he's not going to wait. He's going to go. So if we're talking about retaining a current employee and giving them what they're asking, I personally think that the village manager should have that authority, just because for it to come onto an agenda can take from 2 weeks to a month. By that time, it's too late. And then we're going to go through the whole phase of trying to get someone else, and then through the job posting. It could take 2-3 months. What about you don't find anyone? Yeah, it just makes you go in circles and circles and circles. So it's not that we're giving him everything. He notifies, and that's what I like about Mr. Brown, is that he notifies us. Even if he doesn't have to, he'll notify us. That's the transparency that I see, that if anything comes about, he will notify us via email. He'll call us. So there's nothing illegal going on. And let me just make that sure, because people will twist it up and say that things are being done here. This is transparent as it can be. And this is being done in other cities and other counties and other municipalities throughout the whole country, throughout the whole state. And I think that this is not reaching over bound or anything. It's like what the village attorney said. It usually bends over for the village manager, and if I can save the headache of trying to go through that whole process of keeping that employee, I'm for it. So I think that this is something that we have to do because right now the job market's crazy. No one can find someone. Go to a restaurant, go to a dealership, everyone's hiring. And why? Because people are just leaving and getting better opportunities somewhere else. And it's hard here in the village of Indiantown. It's so hard because why? Because we're in the middle of nowhere. You have to drive. Driving from Port St. Lucie to here is how much? Like 45 minutes, depending on traffic? Because that's what I did yesterday. 45 minutes to go back and forth from Jensen Beach to here. Let's just say West Palm Beach, another 45 minutes. Everyone has to come from the outskirts usually. So if we want our current employees to stay here, well, we need to offer them something that our village manager can negotiate. So I am for this, and this is not overreaching, and I'm not here to micromanage what the village manager is doing. He is doing what he has to do, and he's doing it correctly. He does everything to the T, and he notifies us without going over bounds.
Well, a village attorney, I think that's why I asked for you to put the language in there. So anything obsessive will be stopped, and I don't think nobody's here to risk that. I think we're doing the right thing. We're not relinquishing no whole takeover or nothing. Anybody in business who want to, I should put Mr. Jenkins on the spot. What? But anywho, Miss, you got.
I have a question about what you just said.
Okay.
Nothing will be excessive. It'll be stopped. How will it be stopped? We don't have the right.
Wait. Just put the Susan. Come on. So
Listen to what he said. He notifies it. We have no right to refuse it. He just notifies us of what he's done.
Hold up. Now let Wade speak right now because he get paid to clarify this because I thought we had some language in there that we could retract this if it becomes excessive. That's the only reason why I'm going to agree to it.
So yeah, let's
hold up, Ms. Gibbs.
Let's talk about it. So the particular individual action that whoever the village manager is, all right, so now in the future, what have you, if they exercise that authority, they're going to notify you all, okay? This language does not say that if in that instance there, he extends that additional what have you.
I know that,
you can
Wade.
take
I know that.
one back. What it is if you all see that and say, this is getting out of hand,
Right.
you can immediately come and say, we need to change that ordinance back. We need to take that authority away.
Correct.
And that the ability to amend your ordinance to take that authority back will always remain there because it's by ordinance. With regard to any individual action that he does, you can't go back in time and undo that one, but you can fix it going forward.
Correct. And if you want to speak again, Susan? Public comments? I mean, it's for discussion. No, you need to, you got to give your name, Ms. Linda. You got to be on record, sweetheart.
Yeah, Susan may want you to be on the mic.
Yes, please.
What item is this?
Is it on? Can
Oh,
an
this is number
ordinance
16.
override the charter?
So, great question. This language, as it is here, does not override or conflict with that charter provision.
Thank you for clarification, Wade.
Yeah, great question. An ordinance can't override a municipal charter provision, okay? But what the charter provides is that by ordinance, the village council will set up a system of personnel regulations, okay? We are specifying within those personnel regulations adopted and being amended by ordinance here that the village manager has this authority to do this. There are a number of other places within the personnel regulations where the village manager has the authority to make decisions one way or the other. The reason for that is the village manager is the one who hires, fires, manages, and disciplines all the employees. Okay, so there's all manner of authority exercised by the village manager pursuant to the language in those personnel regulations. This is just another piece of that authority.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have-
Did you get clarification, Ms. Malcolm?
Yes.
Okay. Susan Gibbs Thomas?
I just want to make sure I understand
Sure.
this. This ordinance, second reading goes through. And there is, the manager hires someone, goes out beyond our current policy and benefits. I mean, and offers them 6 months worth of vacation. And we come back and we say, well, wait a minute. And we're notified within 7 days that this is what's happened. Okay? So we say, oh, wait a minute. That's getting a little excessive. We cannot do anything about that situation. Correct? Okay.
That's right.
But moving forward, we can come back and we can say, okay, we need to change that ordinance because it's getting a little excessive.
We're going to take that authority back.
Back, okay. Thank you. So as it goes along, we have no authority to say yay or nay. It's just if it gets excessive, then we come back and say, we've had enough. But what has happened to that point stays.
Or if it's, to be really clear, or if it's not excessive, you just change your mind later on. The power to amend ordinances is the council's power.
Any more discussion by the council? Any more public comments?
I do not have any, Madam Mayor.
I'm so ready to go. Was this discussion or was this for?
This was
vote.
for second reading and adoption, so I would imagine a roll call would be in order.
Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Gibbs Thomas.
Nay.
Councilmember Hernandez.
Yes.
Councilmember Stone.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dowling.
Aye.
Mayor Clark.
Yes.